Welcome back to the 2019 Idaho State Championship MA40 lead card final round back 9. I am Will Leroy Jenkins.
And I'm Brandon Mook Merzlock. And we're entering the last 9 holes of this dramatic final round. It's going to come down to the wire, folks. The video is sponsored by Infinite Discs, and Will Jenkins, number 77413, has done all the video footage, and thank you for doing that, Will.
Yep. Well, I didn't make the cut in my division, so figure I'd highlight the MA40 guys and do this video.
Here's our Brandon Mook Merzlock, sponsored by Infinite Discs. Brian Hancock from Mountain Green, Utah.
We got Eddie Armanta from Nampa, Idaho. I love playing with Eddie. He's a good guy.
Look at that dust there. And Kurt Myrick from West Jordan, Utah. He's got a lower PDGA number than me, if you haven't heard.
And then Dustin Hood from Buell, Idaho. Just about an hour and a half from here.
Doing the Miss USA wave. So after the middle 9, we've got 9 holes left. I've got a 10-stroke lead. Like I said, it's coming right down to the wire. And,
but there's still a few guys in there for second place for sure, and you never know the 9 holes.
Here's a hole where you really got to weave it through the trees, keep it low of the branches and the leaves, and that basket is right up above that wall, right where the staircase is, so I put myself in a pretty good position for a birdie. So I just came off of 2 birds on hole 18 and 19, and 19 was with a 35-foot putt right in there. And here's Brian Hancock with his drive on hole 21.
There is a OB path along the basket, so if you are aggressive on either drive or your upshot, you could find that.
Yeah, just having a hard time letting go of his disc there. So, and with that OB, you really got to be careful, because if you hit one of the trees, like that big old one in the middle, and bounce left, it's easy to go OB.
There is OB left all the way down to where hole 21 and hole 10 meet. They share that OB.
So Eddie pulled it a little bit right, but I think he got right up to the wall.
Yeah.
Faded back, and he's even closer than I am on that drive. And here's Kurt stepping up to hole 21.
This is another guy I like to play with, Kurt. I got to play with him at Utah State Championship a couple years ago and last year, both years, and he's a pretty fierce competitor.
Good guy, always a positive supporter of the sport. Just a little history as Dustin throws here, his drive. And looks like he's got a great beat on the hole there. So, and maybe Dustin I was thinking of. Dustin's actually close to the stairs, but I think Eddie was a little farther right.
There you go.
Yeah. But hole 21, that tee pad never was there in the beginning. So when you come off a hole 20, which was 17 back then, right of where Brian is over here, it was a little like 200-foot flick shot.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that played right down that path opening.
Yep.
So that path was that tee pad was moved later. So Brian hit another tree, it looks like, and he's going to be putting for a 3, his par here. An elevated basket up there. So that basket placement has always been there. The other thing I'll say about Lake Walcott, and it looks like Brian's got a good lob putt on a lot of stuff that doesn't run past the basket too much, but he makes a lot of putts with it.
See where Kurt ended up.
And this is Kurt's drive. So the original baskets at Walcott were actually homemade baskets, and the course was designed by a park ranger who had never played disc golf before. And out of that was a good bid by Kurt.
Yes.
Out of that became most southern Idaho's and northern Utah's and a lot of people's favorite course in the state. So just a great venue. Yeah.
Which coincidentally, we are doing the commentary from northern Idaho.
Right.
We just got done with the Farragut Open.
Yeah, just got done with the Farragut Open, and here's me for my birdie putt, and woof, missed it completely.
That has been, if you've missed, you still hit chains, and that was uncharacteristic of this round.
Yeah, just coming off of a turkey, that was not a good putt.
But Dustin
got his birdie, so
good for him.
And here's Here's Eddie with his par putt.
Yep.
And bing, it goes in the chains. So, got our little kiosk there. That's where hole 1 is. If you ever played Walcott, you're very familiar with that kiosk back there. It tells the history of Walcott.
And really the whole area around it.
So that putt was a little rushed, but it was weak side, but I didn't feel like it was enough weak side to pop out. So I'm going to call that the basket's fault for my bogey. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad enough putt that it should have missed, honestly. So, but no harm, no foul. I did give up 2 strokes to Dustin and a stroke to Eddie on that one, so I think I've got a 9-stroke lead now. And looks like we got a little bit of a gallery.
Yeah.
So we're going into hole 1, which is actually the 21st hole of the course, something like that.
For the tournament?
For the tournament, right, because we start on hole 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going into our last
And we still
8
have
holes.
2 temp holes in the middle too, so.
Yeah, 8 could be a very tricky hole. That's a great shot by Dustin. That's exactly where you want to be. 8 plays up to where Dustin landed, and then there's a little inlet, like an opening that goes to the basket, which is right another 90 feet. So you got to get your drive up to a spot where you can pitch up to the basket. A 3 is great on this hole. Not very many people are going to 2 it. I think I've only birdied it a handful of times in my life, if that.
And not only you got the OB that runs down both sides, but you also have a Mando on the right hand side down at the end.
Yep, and you see the OB at the very end. Eddie went too far, so went to hole 2's fairway, which is out of bounds. So there's plenty of places to make an error.
And that was a good looking drive from Eddie. It just got a little too long.
Yeah, Kurt gets a nice little turnover shot there. And the thing that Mando brings into play is if you go too far right or hit a tree on the right or go OB on the right, it doesn't allow you to cut through the trees on hole 18 to get to the basket, which is a dangerous shot anyway. I'm going with my flick Emperor, and it gets a little away from me here. It comes back, it's just fine. I've got a great look at an upshot there. It's not out of bounds, so I should be.
I got a little help from the branch of the tree there.
Yeah, the branch did kick it right a little bit because it was heading left. But I'll take some luck.
Yep, got to. Got to take the good with the bad.
And here's Brian with his flick, and he throws such a good flick that it goes too far.
Yeah.
So, too much power, too many roids. Just kidding.
test that guy at the end of the tournament.
Yeah. But that is a great distance.
And and that Mando was just to the right of the screen right now.
So I'm going to throw my slab, my patented utility upshot there. It comes out a little early, but I'm still in the circle. I should have a par putt from there. And you can see that Brian's taking his meter relief off of the OB line and kicking grass. He actually just tripped, I think it was.
Yeah.
And so he was over cautious about tripping again.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, for sure.
At our age, it's hard to get back up when you trip.
And he throws an upshot there. It probably could have come out better for him, but it is in the circle. And here's Eddie off of his out of bounds shot. And he throws a little bit short.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's definitely deceiving. I did the same thing. I bogeyed yesterday.
Nice upshot from Dustin though.
Because I shanked my upshot. So here's my par putt.
Yep.
So,
2 in a row.
And you can tell from my putt there that I had absolutely no follow through. That I just flicked my wrist and let it go. And
Good putt, Eddie.
Yeah. So I was rushing the shot. You know, when I'm taking my time and I got a good follow through, they're going in most of the time.
Yeah,
there's a great putt from Kurt. So nice shot.
Yeah.
Like I said, a par on hole 1 is a great score, and you're going to get some strokes on some people with that score.
I mean, this is the 20th hole of the round, and he's still giving thumbs up and smiling. Yep. And then Dustin. Oh, we got Brian first.
Brian cleaning up here.
Yep.
Boom.
And then Dustin with the drop in.
Dustin played that hole perfectly.
Yep.
That's the way you want to do it. You don't want to get too aggressive. Just throw it up to the opening, throw it into the basket, and put your putt in. So, Dustin and Kurt with the pars there, and everybody else with the bogeys. So hole 3, 290 foot. It's a raised basket on a stump back there. That backhand hyzer shot is really the way to go. That was a great shot by Dustin. I think he's in the circle there. If you throw it a little bit too short, there's a path there. There's a couple paths to play like a river if you go short and left. And then you got the basketball court if you happen to shank it and go to the basketball court that's out of bounds. But that looks like that was a good safe shot from Kurt. If you're going to err, you want to err to the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
So the left-hand side, you hit those trees, and it just can be a tough upshot.
Yeah, all weekend long you had a right to left wind, and today you could tell it's pretty calm.
Right.
So, all week long you're trying to stay on that right side so you don't have a headwind up, raised to elevated basket. And this one,
yeah, and that was a great shot by Eddie. Just the backhand hyzer. That's what you want to do. I have, for some reason, with that hyzer, I have a little bit of trouble getting the distance on this hole. So I throw a G-star strike, and that gives me a little bit more glide, and it goes right over the basket here. I'm in the circle. I'm happy with it. That should be a birdie if I can make the putt.
right now, parring out for you. The guys would have to birdie every hole to try to catch it.
Yeah, with this kind of a lead, you really don't want to do anything crazy. You just want to play conservatively and make the other group play aggressively. If they're going to try to play aggressively, they're the ones who are going to make the errors. And you can see that's kind of how it's been this entire round.
That's a great shot from Brian.
Great backhand
I think
from Brian.
he's CTP on this hole.
Yeah, I think he might be leaning up against the log or pretty close to it. So Kurt is on the short side of the path, putting up to the basket. He's right by that basketball hoop we were talking about. Hits the stump and rolls.
But luckily, it was a small roll.
Small roll.
Hey, there's the other pin.
That raised basket. Any inch helps. So, looks like I'm about 20.
There you go.
15 or 20 feet.
Nah, that's the chains.
Yeah. So, spoiler alert. But, that's kind of the point where I was pretty confident with the 9-10 stroke lead that I'm probably going to win this tournament.
Yeah.
So, again.
Great drive and putt from Dustin.
Yeah.
And Eddie getting ready to do his thing.
So Eddie with a great drive here.
Yep. Another birdie. Yep. And then and Brian's still waiting. And the funny thing about this, and I have to mention this because after Ryan walks up to his disc here and it's a formality now. It's tapping for birdie here. He turns to me. He goes. Earlier in the round, he had turned to me and said, "Man, you keep filming me doing the tap-ins as the last person, and you get the box or the basket." I'm like, "Yeah, but." So on this one, I was like, "Hey, I'm getting you tapping in again, but this time it's for birdie."
That's right.
So he was even with the rough round, he was a good sport and had fun.
Right. That's kind of what it's all about. If you're not having fun, why are you out there?
Yeah.
Have a good attitude. Everybody has a bad game. I've definitely been there. So, hole 3 is it's a longer hole. If you follow
new position for you.
New position, yep, for me that I've never played before. Well, not actually. This is my design position for leagues, and they just decided to make it permanent. So I have played it before. But you want to follow those swing sets down to the bathroom. And the basket sits behind the two taller trunks you can see way in the back.
Yep, you can see the basket down
and it's
there.
protected by those trees. So
and he just early into the tree.
A flick might be the way to go. It looks like most people are trying to go an anti-backhand, and that's what I'm going to do as well. I'm going to throw my I-Blend Sphinx here from Infinite Discs, and hopefully it turns over. I just threw it a little too wide and it clipped a tree, but I'm safe. Those swing sets are out of bounds. There is a rectangle out of bounds box marked there as well.
I think it was 2 years ago I landed in one of those.
This is one of those holes as Brian approaches his shot that Man, when I first started playing, those trees that you see in front of you were shorter than I was, and it's just grown in over the years and made the hole tougher and tougher, and it's great to see.
You can do the hyzer route down the other side, but it's so long to get back to the basket that it takes a long shot. Look at this roller.
Kurt with the backhand roller. He's playing with that OB by the swing set, but it rolls out of
Yeah.
it, and he is in a great spot. So it should be an easy upshot and a par there.
Great shot for Kurt there.
Yeah, that was the best shot by far. Everybody else hit a tree. And here's Brian trying to save his shot from hitting the tree. And I don't remember exactly where he went.
No.
And here's Eddie on the other side of the tree that Brian was just at.
And he hits another tree.
That's another tree. And then I'm on the other side of the swing sets over here. And I throw a destroyer, turn it over, and it actually winds around the tree, whizzes right past the basket, almost goes out of bounds behind it, but stayed in bounds.
There is a path behind the basket, and he was within 3 feet of the basket. There's the path, 5 feet.
Right. So good upshot.
Yeah. So here's Eddie's
I gotta
third.
give myself a chance for par.
At least he bounced away from the tree. There's his upshot, and
Like
he's
a
right
great
there.
upshot.
Yep. Very good.
And this is Kurt's drive. We're
Yeah.
finally getting up to Kurt's drive. Shows you how much better his drive was than us, and gives it a great upshot there.
Yep.
So
He's like, I'm taking strokes from these guys with a par, so I'm gonna throw it up there.
This is Brian's third shot. Looks like he's gonna try to ante it around the tree. Gives it a great bid.
And
Just slips out of bounds.
yeah, just another bad break for him.
Yep.
Because that was not a bad shot.
It's one that I saw, and I just saw it hit the grass and then take one extra skip. That was Dustin's par putt there. And so here's where my upshot landed.
Yeah, so you are within 3 feet of it.
I'm inbounds, but obviously I'm taking a meter relief, so it is pretty close to the path, about 20 feet out.
And
Bangs it in for a par. So it looks like I'll be tying Kurt and then getting a stroke on everybody else, at least a stroke.
Yep.
So, very nice, Kurt.
Yep. And then, yeah, you can see it was just on the path there.
Yeah, that path and it is beyond. So if you go to the path and beyond, you're out of bounds on that hole.
All right, good.
So good putt by Brian. Tough break on the OB. It was a good upshot.
Bogey for
Just one
Eddie.
extra bounce.
So you separate yourself from Eddie and by another shot there.
All right. So coming off a hole 3, moving into the very back of the course. Looks like I've got a 10-stroke lead. Brian and Kurt are tied, so that's a pretty tight race. It looks like Eddie's probably got second place pretty much pinned down. Par 3, hole 4 is a par 3. There is an OB line on the left-hand side. I want to fade away from it. So I really think there's that big tree in the middle of the fairway. There's 2 ways to play this hole. You can go left of it with either a flick or maybe an ante backhand, or you can go right of it,
Like Kurt's doing
like Kurt's doing.
But he got it let go a little early and is in that tree.
Right? Yeah. If you get it high enough, you don't have to worry about the trees, but that's really not the play you want. You want to get it a little bit lower.
Yep.
And I just think there's a lot more risk over there. There's also that OB path you can see.
And it winds pretty into the fairway around by that big tree.
Dustin's going to go that way, and he gets around the tree. That's
He actually throws a great shot.
Yep. But I will tell you though, if you take a backhand that route over there, you have a much better angle at approaching the basket. Because the way that I went was perfectly safe, but there is a tree guarding the basket on that side, and you'll see.
And he goes a little wider.
Yep.
And that ends up being a really good shot.
Yep. So if you
you want to flirt with that taller purple tree back there.
Why is it cute?
Yeah. But you want to get close to that and then have the disc come into back into the fairway there.
Yeah, if you can get it to hug that tree and then fade off of it, that's what you want.
Yep.
Brian's trying to throw a flick around the tree. It looks like it just gets right into that tree, unfortunately.
And Kurt was right up against the tree, actually. So,
Yep.
at least it was on the front side of it.
Yep, front side of the tree should be a pretty easy upshot, but
And
he hits the bear.
the bear. What did the bear do to him?
So that used to be a tree, and they carved a bear out of it, and I have not seen the bear get hit for a while. So congrats to Kurt.
Right in the head of the bear,
Right in the
too.
head of the bear, yeah.
It was the backside, too.
I don't even think he called 4.
No.
That thing never even
So the
crossed
bear
my
had
mind.
no chance
Great
whatsoever.
upshot for Brian.
So now he's got a putt next to the bear, and that's pretty
He's probably
awkward.
growling at him, too.
Yeah, it's probably pretty awkward, you know. It's like putting off of your big fat foot.
Frankenstein.
So here's where my drive landed. As you can see, that's the tree I'm talking about that protects the basket. I'm just trying to upshot it, lay it up so I can put it in for a 3.
And
I'm
here I
happy
go.
with the 3. And here's Eddie's drive. As you can see, the people who went on the right side of that taller tree have a much better look at the basket. They're not contending with that tree on the left-hand side. So probably about a 50-footer
Yeah.
from here. And he's going to run it down like always, but he was not fast enough to catch it and grab it and put it in the basket, so he'll have to take a 3 on that hole.
Dustin gives it a really good bid here, but
Yep, on his knees. He did go on the right-hand side of the tree, but it was high enough where it faded back over to where my drive was. And this is Brian
for par.
for par.
Great putt.
Boom. There we
Yeah,
go.
and that's typical Brian right there.
Yeah. You're not going to see Brian have another tournament like this, at least not for a long time. So we are headed down to Utah State Championships, and I hope to see him there. I haven't seen his name signed up, but it'd be cool to go against him another time and watch him play at his best.
Good par for you.
Yep.
And another par for Eddie.
Par for me, not trying to push any limits at all, just trying to complete the holes without any mistakes. And I maintain my 10-stroke lead. It looks like Brian got a stroke on Kurt,
Yep.
so he's in 3rd place now. This is an alternate hole, and so the road plays like a river, and the basket's actually on the right-hand side of the road. But you can play to either side of the road and then pitch up from there.
There is an OB line left and an OB line right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't just you have to still put it in one of the green spots in between the road and the OB lines, but you put it right where you said you wanted to.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I
And this is a great shot by Dustin.
yeah,
That
hits the grass,
Just
and that's that sneaky OB that we've been talking about
yeah.
on all our
And
videos.
you can see he's smiling. He knows he threw
Yeah.
a great shot.
It was a great shot. He would have a look at a birdie there. It would be a long look, but it would be a look.
Yeah.
So for a 400-foot hole, if you can get a birdie on it, you're taking strokes on people. A lot of disc golfers are going and playing into that right-hand side pocket.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the play because there is an OB line over there that you have to approach around that is just dangerous.
And then you also got to fight those trees on your upshot.
Yeah.
So
For me, I'm just happy just being on the left-hand side of the road and pitching up and putting it in. So you'll find if you can get a 3 on this hole just like that, you're going to take strokes. So Eddie actually, and here's Brian with his flick, and nothing's coming together.
Yep. He actually gets back in bounds over there for a second.
Right.
And
Yeah, good thing we had a spotter on this hole because we weren't sure
Yeah,
if
it was
it
close.
touched on the right-hand side of the road up there, but it did. And he got to take it up there where it rolled out.
but yeah, he's just not getting any breaks, and we've all been there. We all
Kurt with
Too
his
many times.
backhand, and he was in the grass.
saying there's a little upslope just before the road, and he hit it, and it stopped the disc from sliding sideways.
Yep, that's a great
Good
shot.
shot.
It's a great shot. I was saying earlier, sorry, that Eddie birdied this hole on the second day of the tournament.
Oh,
So
nice.
you don't see that very often on this hole.
Yeah.
It's not from the
Not
ham
from
level.
yeah.
So Brian with a great upshot goes past
See,
the
now
basket
you
a
can
little
see
bit.
this look over here. It's pretty easy to look.
Yeah. So and I just aim low. That was my slab again. Let it skip up to the basket, and I'm right there. And this is the other side that I'm talking about. All that sagebush is OB. So it's just a really tough angle to approach from over there. Plus you got the trees you're battling.
Yeah, so. And then Kurt gives it a good run there.
Yep, Kurt with a great drive, great upshot. Should be an easy 3 for him.
Dustin trying to run this for par. This is where he would be if it didn't slide out of bounds for a birdie look, you know.
Yep.
So not a bad drive.
Hits the tree on his upshot, but he should have this putt. And I say should. But the woes continue for Dustin today. So.
Oh, good.
And that looks like
par for Eddie.
That looks like a Mach 3.
Oh yeah.
Basket right there
Yeah,
with the Idaho State championship logo on the top there.
Like maybe that's what they give away to the first place advanced winner.
That's pretty specific. The first place advanced winner?
Yeah.
How would you know something like that?
Maybe I know who won it.
Yeah. Now we know why it's got scuff marks on it.
Nah.
So my son Ben won the advanced division, and that was his winning basket with a trophy there. And here's Brian. Like I say, he flew past the basket a little bit, but this is par putt. And just a bit short on that putt, darn it. So I think that when he threw his upshot, he thought he was a lot closer. And it's just one of those instances when you're trying to just
so he's actually going to tap in for double bogey because he had that OB stroke. So.
That's right. Okay, that's right. Yeah.
So
but
him and Dustin both
trying to manage your expectations. You know, he thought he was a lot closer and he wasn't. And
so that was a two-shot swing. So Kurt jumped back ahead of him.
So Brian started out in second place this round, moved to fourth at this point. This is hole B, and it's behind all those trees, and it's protected. It's got OB road behind the basket where you can see that car's driving. It's also got an OB line over there
and that's
as well.
That's a good line from Eddie, but
yep,
I think he still got through. But he's still gonna be short of the basket.
Yeah, it takes a good shot to have the distance to get around those trees if you're gonna hyzer out. So Kurt's got a great line.
A great line.
That's a good spot. There's grass over there.
I still think he's pretty far out.
Oh, yeah, he's probably 100 feet right at the basket.
Yep.
Here's Dustin, and Dustin puts a great.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Great spin on this thing, and
you could tell that jumped right out of his hand. Maybe there's a little aggression from the last hole.
Yeah, he's pretty happy with that. He's
let off some steam.
He's probably 50 feet outside of the hole, which. You know, yesterday I bogeyed this and I wasn't sure, you know, how to play it. But looks like Brian just comes up a little low, but you can definitely still save par from there.
One thing about that though is that hyzer route, if you get flipped over and don't come back, there is an OB line there that goes out to the OB road. So, but nobody was flirting with that on this group.
He's going to go to the left side of those trees.
Try to play it back.
And he gets, he's just outside the circle on that upshot, but he's still in the weeds, so I've got that tree contending my shot.
You contemplated that shot for a while. I edited most of that out, but...
Yeah, I was thinking about going to the right of that tree, but it was just so tight. I thought, you know, if I hit that tree, then it'd be pretty bad.
You originally grabbed your maiden, I believe, to try to do that. And
my tomb.
Or your tomb, sorry.
Yeah, it's a lot like a maiden.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
tomb, but
good. And here's Eddie's drive. That's a great drive.
Yes.
There.
See, he snuck in front of the trees.
He did, yeah.
Oh, he wanted that one. You could tell he wanted that one.
Running it down too, and this is Dustin's drive, and that was an amazing drive.
Yeah.
That was the best drive that I've seen on that hole at all, ever.
And...
Yep, just came short on his putt.
Yeah.
So here's Brian's
game
par
of
putt.
inches. Yeah, of course, if you do go long, you can see the OB back there too, but it shouldn't come into play.
Well, Brian puts a great bit on that.
Yes, he does.
Just, that's one of those DD Patriots, I believe. We haven't seen that basket yet, and it just wasn't ready to accept Brian's putt.
No. Looked like
So,
a good putt to me.
That's because he's putting with an MVP disc.
And
Oh,
it didn't like yours either.
it didn't like mine.
And that was a lot of chains.
Yeah, and that was the strong side too, but
Yeah.
it was a tad low. I kind of knew it was shaky when it came out of my hand, but
Kind of pushing that way.
yeah, really wasn't a fan of this hole all weekend. Aesthetically, I didn't like it, but and it kicked my butt every time we played it. So I think I ended up bogey every day in that hole.
Yeah, I hope to see Brian down at Utah State. I won't play against him, different division, but I hope to see him down there playing.
Yep.
So.
All right, after hole B, it looks like I've got a 9-stroke lead, and Kurt is taking another stroke on Brian. So Kurt's in 3rd place, Dustin is in 5th. Now we're moving on to hole 5, which is a 560-foot par 3.
Yeah, OB down both sides.
Yeah, OB down the right-hand side tree line, OB down the left-hand side. You really have to have a good drive, get over the hill, to really have a shot at a 3 on this hole.
This is arguably, along with that one from the middle round or middle 9, toughest 3 out there.
Right. And I don't remember exactly where Eddie ended up. And here's Kurt with his backhand shot.
Eddie ended up near the tree line, if I remember right.
Gotcha. So it looks like Kurt will be over by that big weeping willow.
He didn't go far enough to get an OB.
Depending on which side you are on that weeping willow can make a big difference.
Yeah, this is with hole 16, or 16, arguably the hardest 3 in this layout.
Right. And it looks like Dustin faded off to the left over by that weeping willow as well, which is fine. This hole is, as long as you can get over that hill, it's all about the upshot. And I got around the tree. I'm actually on the other side of that tree, so I've got a pretty good look at the basket there.
I was having a hard time picking up your disc on that one. The focus was, but
yeah,
we got it at the end. It's down there. You're fine.
Brian with the backhand here. And he's going to fade off to the left, but I don't believe it's enough to go OB. But he is over by that weeping willow as well. You can see
how close he got to it.
Yeah, so you see the line of pine trees, and then there's another tree after that. The basket's left of those trees. So where he's at, the tree is really protecting what he wants to throw.
I lost the disc once it got through the weeping willow, but he's up there to the left.
Here's Kurt, and you can see how much 10 feet helps.
Yeah.
On this kind of a hole.
He's able to get a full throw on that.
Kurt has a nice little S-turn shot and is in the circle.
Yep. And Eddie's right there with him. And
that's where Eddie went.
Yep.
Second to last hole of the tournament, and Eddie turns it over.
Gets a good kick out because you can see how close the OB line was there.
Right.
So, all right.
Good little guardian tree, and there's Calvin. He's been a trooper all day.
I guess you're throwing a forehand, and it's a destroyer?
Slab.
Oh, you threw the slab on this one.
Is that? Nope, that is the destroyer.
Okay.
Right. So that's my Huck Lab destroyer, and as you can see, it's pretty much there. So we're talking about handicap parking, ladies and gentlemen. So Dustin with his upshot sneaks under the tree, and he's got a putt there.
Yeah, he's on the parking lot. He might not be in the front row, but
he's definitely on the parking lot. And here's where Brian's second shot landed. He's still got an upshot to get up there.
Yeah.
He is just,
and that was look. I thought it was good. It ended up being all right.
He's just ready for the round to end.
Yeah. Eddie got it. This is where I remember Eddie being next to the tree line. So.
Right. So Eddie with his upshot.
So he'll be putting for bogey.
Dustin for par.
Yeah.
Here stares down the basket and whoa.
He's like, I'm not leaving. I'm not hitting the front of the basket this time.
He's not going low.
Yeah.
Eddie with his bogey putt. Is this far enough to run down? No, but he makes it anyway.
But he makes it.
It's a great putt.
Yeah.
By Eddie for the bogey. This is Kurt's upshot, and he's putting for a par. on this hole.
Yeah. That was a good upshot.
This is the original placement at Walcott. It's been here for years.
Oh.
Oh, Kurt. So strong side, but too much strong side. Just wide of the basket. So you can see my yellow disc sitting there by the basket. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a wait before I get a turn. These guys are wanting to hog up all the turns.
Well, there's nothing wrong with waiting your turn to tap in a par, right?
That's right. Yep, and I'm
On a
perfectly
539-foot hole.
500, yeah, 560, 559.
Or was that what it was?
Yeah, but I mean 560. I mean that's a tough par 3, but I don't think it should be a par 4.
Yeah.
But the distance is just right on that borderline.
Yeah.
You know, you could justify it either way. So going into the last hole, I've got 10 strokes. Looks like everybody's pretty much cemented. There's a 2-stroke difference between Kurt and Brian. So if there's any kind of a meltdown, then there might be a switch in third and fourth. So
that looks like a really good drive.
This is a par 4. I didn't see the distance on it. 600 and something.
But they're playing as a
640.
par 3.
Oh yeah, this would be the toughest par 3 on the course.
Yeah,
I think.
actually.
Yeah.
To think of it, because last year they played this as a par 4.
Yeah,
in
and
this position.
this is the last hole of the tournament, and I'm just trying to get down past those trees into the opening so I can start to attack the next set of trees. My opinion on this hole, there is that road that's on the right hand side that's OB. You can see the path. On the left hand side, there's really not much OB. You're not going to hit that shelter. Looks like Kurt's drag got away from him.
He's just laughing about it.
But I really believe the play on this hole is to throw a backhand and just hug that road as close as you can.
It gives you the best angle to the basket.
Right.
Once you're up there.
Because once you get inside, like around the trees like Dustin is, and Eddie and me as well, then you're contending against more and more trees.
Yeah.
And you'll see that as we approach. But it's more open near the road. So Brian wants to end with a good drive. And let's see how he does it here.
Matter of fact, I know an advanced player that put it right near the road and had a clear look at the basket. So,
yeah.
So I learned something by following that card that I'll probably think about for next year.
Yeah. So you can see that the more we get away from that road, the more trees you have to contend with. That really wasn't a bad shot by Brian. So he's much closer to the basket. He's going to have himself a long putt look. But it's just a very protected
That was a
spot.
little low. I think he hit the line he wanted. It was just a little low.
Wait, what the hell?
Yep.
Kurt getting a two tree bounces.
Yeah, and usually my play on this hole is to hyzer out over the road into the basket. And so I believe I've got my McPro Rock 3 there, and I just hit a tree, just like everybody else did. And Eddie will probably hit a tree too. I can't remember. He proves me wrong. He gets it all the way up to the basket.
Yep.
So great shot by Eddie by threading the needle there.
Sneaking that in there. That was skinny.
And he should have a par putt there.
Goodness.
And I decide to play object holes instead of the basket. So
you decided.
I thought the tree was
You
the
didn't want to
hole.
leave any tree behind.
Somebody said we're going to the tree, like the heathen days of old, and I was like, oh, that's the basket now. Now I got this massive tree to putt around, and Kurt made it in there for putt, so that was his third shot.
Yeah. He gave it a run. It just came in a little early. Got to run that tree though, so he's.
Yep, and Brian did hit a tree on a second
Yep.
shot, but like I said, he's still got a long look at a par here, so let's end strong, Brian.
Yeah. I'm silently rooting for him while I'm filming this.
It'd be great to end with a win after the day that he's had. And gives it a great look.
Yes, that was a
Gives it
great look.
And Dustin trying to finish the round here, being the first to complete.
Knowing that every shot could have his buddy catch him from the chase card.
Yep, just hits the front cage, just a little short there, but it was a great putt. You know, it was a long putt from 30, 40 feet out. And I've got to navigate around this tree here for my bogey putt. And there we
Dead
go.
center.
Laser
That's what
shot.
happens when you hit dead center.
Yep.
So there's your MP or MA40
MA40
champion?
champion, yep. I've been playing this tournament for many years, and it's the first time I've won any division that I played in, so I was super excited.
Well, congratulations on that. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, thanks for filming.
Yep.
There's Brian finishing out. Thanks to Colby for the tournament and everybody who helped.
Not only did you, I mean, you're able to win that, but you're also running a store while you're there, so you didn't get a lot of practice.
Yep.
You just went out there and trusted your shots.
And as soon as I turned in my scorecard, I was right back to vending. So
as you could see after hole 6, that's the final standings for the final lead card, and here's what we had for, and you can see that his buddy did catch him and he did drop. So
for Dustin,
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
but again, great tournament.
yeah.
If you guys ever have the chance to make it there, do it. We'd love to see some bigger names out there. We had Matt Bell last year, I believe, but
2 years ago, yep.
Great venue, and thanks again.
Catch you next time.